Okay. Hello,
Okay.
everyone.
We are back with
We're back.
Scorpio.
Yes. So, welcome to Soul Astrology with Christine and Laura. And this video will be all about the sign Scorpio.
Let me bring now the screen.
Okay. All right. So, for Scorpio, the principle is the principle of transformation. Maybe I should admit right from the very beginning that Scorpio is one of those signs. So, some signs I'm kind of like, I don't know, I don't get it at all.
You get Scorpio.
Scorpio is one of those signs where I don't know if anyone ever really gets Scorpio fully because they're so deep.
But you
And
know when you have an Scorpio energy in front of you. Uh,
oh, yes, I'm very familiar with that.
just the
There,
way they look at you, they see
yeah,
through you.
yeah. But so Scorpio is it's not a teddy bear-ish kind of sign. So
They,
it's always one of those where I'm just a little bit,
yeah.
careful.
They ruled by Pluto and
Yes.
Mars.
Oh
So
my God.
the
Say no
Pluto,
more.
yeah, Pluto is the planet of power and transformation and the underworld, and then you have the warrior Mars. They both working together to make Scorpio what Scorpio is,
Yeah,
powerful and deep.
very powerful.
Yeah.
So we come to the mantra then where it's warrior am I, and from the battle I emerge triumphant.
Is this thing about Scorpios that they have no fear to go deep into that dark cave to find the treasure, to
Not only that, but they have no fear of taking you with them. you know, it's so it really is this kind of trial by fire kind of feeling to them.
yeah,
And
it's the second sign, water sign, and I feel like whatever cancer, emotional cancer brings to life, with all the wounds and all the things that you bring from family, from childhood, then you go to Scorpio and you do the inner work. You get alone, you get in that dark room, and then you start fixing things, you start understanding things, you are facing your shadows. I think shadow is a really good word for Scorpio, but as a positive thing, right?
yes,
They have the power, they have the commitment, the courage to face the shadow, and do the work to release what needs to be released, to work on whatever needs to be worked. Very, very brave.
mhm. I feel like very intelligent too,
Mhm.
but we'll get to those.
Emotional intelligence.
Yeah. Okay, so the incarnating souls are given these foundations when they come with Scorpio energy. It conveys the courage to face the inner and the outer opponent. It surfaces the battles of our emotional self. And I think we've been speaking to these things already.
Mhm.
And it contains the strength of detachment and purification from all unnecessary energies. I think that's a really key element to the healing of the emotional self. There has to be this ability to be aware and a little bit objective about why you feel the certain things you have, what happened to you in order to bring you to this place. What are the things that I need to really see about myself in order to move forward and to heal the wounds or to just step more into power, your own power, or step more into the light. So I think that's really important.
Yeah, I think Scorpios have this. They feel comfortable in that dark space. They're not afraid. They don't run away looking for that light, and everything have to be beautiful, and everything have to be um, loving. If they found themselves in a dark spot because there's something that needs to be done there, they'll stay, and they go as deep as is needed in order to do that transformation. I got the feeling of that caterpillar inside the cocoon, and all the work that needs to be done there before you become the butterfly, and being there trapped and transforming yourself, and at some point breaking free from that cocoon, like really fighting, because you either break free or you die, right? And Scorpios, they do that work, and without effort, or even if it is an effort to get it done, they still doing it. They're committed to go through that transformation and to see things as they are, not pretending that things are nice or they could be better. They face things as they are.
Yeah, I feel like the effort isn't about like shoring yourself up for going into battle. The effort, like the going to battle, is just a natural thing, right? It's the standing up for yourself and the doing what needs to be done. The effort that they put in is in the actual work of healing. It's not getting yourself hyped up to do it, you know? So they have that initiative kind of action innately in them already.
Hmm. And it has tremendous power.
Mhm.
Ruled by Pluto, um, these powerful people with uh, tremendous potential to do great things, and the strength and the courage and the persistence, um, and also understanding where it's time to let go of things, right? When it's time to transition, when it's time to let things die. That's something that I feel Pluto gives to them too. The knowing when something is time to flourish and come alive, and then when it's the time to release, let go, and let it die.
Mhm. Well, that's the
Cycles.
detachment and the purification again, right?
Hmm.
You can only let things go if you're able to detach from them fully.
Hmm.
And yeah, so the big word for me here is transformation too. And that's the Pluto energy. It's all about releasing, letting go, and then transforming and moving to the next level,
Hmm.
the next thing.
And perhaps I'm thinking that the image that comes a little even forward to that is, once you die, what comes after that? Like waiting for that moment when, you have the fruit of um, all that journey, the journey of dying, and then after you release everything, what is left? What is the gift? What do you see after everything is gone? And cherishing that gift.
Okay. So the symbol is the scorpion, and if you see in that M there, there's a little arrow at the end of the tail. That's the scorpion stinger tail. At least that's the way I always think of it. I think that's what's meant by that.
Yeah, I think it is. But that would be in a way the Scorpio that is in the process of developing. Because I've heard of Scorpios that have finished the process or are way up on that process, that they are more like the eagle, the one that can, nothing affects them, they are above everything. So it is the Scorpio, but also the eagle, right?
And I do, if we want to just stay on the symbol a little bit, I do like the idea of how that arrow, it dips below the line and then is coming back up and surfacing again. So it has that idea of it's moving upward and coming back up and rejuvenating or birthing something new or coming back into the light. So it does have positive energy behind it.
Hmm.
So the archetype is the alchemist, so the ability to transform again. Um, People that are Scorpios are born between October 21st and November 20th. The ruling planet, which Laura already said, it has two, Pluto and Mars. And just know that astrology has been around literally for thousands of years. So Mars is they call it the traditional ruler, and Pluto was assigned to this sign after its discovery. I was just listening to a video about Pluto in astrology, and I think they said Pluto was discovered in like 1920 or 1930, so relatively recently. And then they assigned it in astrology. And there are other planets and asteroids that are being discovered that we can talk about. So there are several asteroids that are large enough to be consequential in I think the asteroid belt that is between Mars and Jupiter, that's orbiting the solar system, that they are now using in astrology. And interestingly, I think almost all of them are divine feminine energy.
Mhm.
So it's interesting to think about when these planets come. So 1920, 1930, just before the great world wars that happened, just before the 20th century and all the transformation that happened, Pluto is discovered and is brought into astrology, just to add on to the aside. So that's why there's two planets, and there are a few signs that will have the two planets.
Yeah.
Okay, so it rules the eighth house. Its element is water, it's fixed quality, and the lesson is taming the desire to control.
I think again, Pluto is related to power. So for
Mars too.
yeah, so for Scorpions, being in control, having power is very important.
I do feel like there's an aspect to Scorpio where I know we were saying that they are ready to go into battle and to dive deep into the subconscious and into the wounds in order to do the work. But I feel like there's an aspect to Scorpio where some of the work can be going on at such a deep level that Scorpios may not be conscious of all the work that they're doing and all of the impact that they're having. And I think this need for control and the power that they hold just innately in them runs so deep that there really has to be a very determined aspect and desire to be aware of the depth and the power that is within them, and so that they can control it and not try and overwhelm others, control others, manipulate others, or you know what I'm saying?
Yes, the control is within them.
Mm,
And somehow they have to learn to tame that control in them and not trying to express it out and trying to control what is outside.
mhm,
Is is a power that they have to use for themselves and be very careful when they want to express that power outside. Um, it feels to me that it's a gift for their own to enjoy themselves, to utilize or to use it for themselves.
mhm,
Um, the moment that they try to use that power in the outer world, that energy gets a little bit colored and doesn't have that purity. When they want to express that and use that power to conquer other things in life, when they bring that energy to the outer world, the energy shifts.
mhm.
I don't know. It says um, I have a deep connection with Pluto, and as I'm speaking and you're speaking, I have a lot of pressure here on my head. So I don't know if I'm thinking straight right now. I'm just feeling Pluto here.
So I think there is again that soul journey story
Hmm.
again where we moved from Virgo to Libra, and now we're moving from Libra to Scorpio. So we have in Libra the balancing and understanding both sides and kind of being on the surface level. And now we have Scorpio where they're diving deep into subconscious, into emotionality, and into those really deep watery realms.
Hmm.
But they still need to be, it's still about interacting with others. So the eighth house, there's an astrologer that I watch, and he calls it the house of sex, sex, love, death, and rock and roll, or something like that. Like, and that's the Scorpio energy, right? And so there is an element where it's so wild and so deep it needs to be tamed.
Yeah.
And and because it is in that eighth house, it's about interacting with others. So that aspect of taming the desire to control with Scorpio and the cats in the plant, the aspect of needing to tame the desire to control as being the lesson, it's because this this sign is about how you interact with others energetically. All right. And so house of sex, love, and rock and roll, parts of the body that Scorpio rules are genitals, and the urinary and reproductive systems. So the expressions, on the one hand, they have this focused intensity, they're mysterious, powerful, brave. All right, so they understand cycles. Do you want to talk about that?
So I think because of the ruling planet, Pluto, and Pluto is all about that cycle of birth and, let and die. Um, so they have awareness of that process, that everything has a moment to flourish and to come to surface. And they're also, and they also know when it's time to let go and let it die. And they, if they're on the light side, they know and they are willing to let it die.
Yeah.
So they have that understanding that that's how life is. It's all about cycles, and they accept that.
So it's the cycles of transformation that we're talking about. So they're perseverant, they're intuitive. So this is one of the signs that's really in tune psychically. Um, they're very deep, which we've been talking about. They're passionate, they're sexual, they're sensual. On the other hand, this intensity, they can be overwhelmingly intense. If they're not open to these cycles, they can be very resistant to change.
I
They can
think
be,
because they are aware of the cycles, they also like a counterpart, right? Knowing that something is dying and not letting it die, resisting that. They know it's coming, but they don't want to let it happen when they are in the shadow side.
can be jealous, controlling, frightening, humorless, reserved, vengeful, manipulative, and hurtful. And so I think this kind of just highlights the deep emotionality of Scorpios.
Mhm.
Um, and I think when you look at the light side, so the mystery, the intuition, the deep, the sensual, the passionate, those are all to me words that we're hinting at concepts that can't really be expressed with words,
Mhm.
right? So when you call someone or something mysterious, it's because you can't label them, you can't understand them all the way, but you're so intrigued by them, you're drawn to them. And so all of these then on the shadow side kind of then speak to how deep those emotions are that we're trying to talk about with the words mysterious and intuitive and
Mhm.
deep.
They had also great ability to connect with all the mysticism, with tarot, with magic. With they have that connection, deep connection with earth. Yeah, they have that power to see what is hidden.
Yeah, yeah. And again, because this power is dwells deep within, they may tap into it and not realize fully where it's coming from or how it's working or even understand that they're doing it, because I think it's just such an not subconscious, it's at the subconscious level, but it's something that they may not be fully aware of
Because it
all
comes
the time.
naturally
Yeah,
without effort. So they might not even be aware of that power that they have.
yeah.
And like we say in all the videos, we all have Scorpio somewhere in our natal chart, which is in our lives.
Mhm.
So that is where we really have power to change things, to look at things in depth, to transform things. It's amazing for people that are in therapy that want to heal others through emotion treatment. for healers is a very good sign too. Um, so wherever we find Scorpio in our chart, we have that power and that inner knowing, that deep knowing that what is wrong, what needs to be done, and we have the courage to go and do what needs to be done.
Okay, good. So that's
Serious.
Scorpio.
Yeah.
So the next video will be Sagittarius, something both of us are very familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.